Welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss the important articles from the Hindu, the Indian Express and the PIB from the UPSC CSC Prelims perspective. Displayed are the list of articles which we are going to discuss in today's video. The first article of the day says that the Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has approved setting up of 1,000 crore venture capital fund dedicated to space sector under the aegis of InSpace. In this context, let us talk about the relevant aspects. See, the fund totaling 1,000 crore is designed to be deployed over 5 years with allocations ranging from 150 crore to 50 crore annually. Know that the fund targets supporting around 40 startups across the space sector. So, indicative investment range under which for growth stage is 10 crore to 30 crore rupees and for late growth stage is 30 crore to 60 crore rupees. Significantly, the focus areas are investing in startups across the space supply chain, which are upstream, midstream and downstream, driving the innovation in space technology and promoting private sector growth. Then, what are the objectives and strategic benefits? See, the fund aims to bolster India's space economy by focusing on, firstly, to attract additional private investments through strategic seed funding. Secondly, to encourage Indian space companies to remain domiciled in India. Thirdly, to accelerate growth to meet the target of a 5-fold increase in the Indian space economy by 2033. Fourthly, to foster private sector participation in driving technology development. Then to enhance India's standing in the global space sector. Next, to align with the government's self-reliance agenda. Furthermore, to foster a vibrant and sustainable innovation environment. And lastly, to generate both direct and indirect jobs while driving economic growth. The second article of the day says that the Nobel laureate Paul Romer, who won the 2018 Economics Prize, recently praised India's Aadhaar system, calling it one of the most significant technological innovations globally. Furthermore, he highlighted how Aadhaar has laid a robust foundation for delivering government benefits such as direct transfers and has made public services more accessible to millions across the country. In this context, let us talk about Aadhaar. See, the Aadhaar, which is a India's 12-digit unique identification number, launched in the year 2009, has transformed how the country handles identity verification and service delivery. Significantly, it leverages minimal demographic and biometric data to eliminate and duplicate and fake identities, ensuring targeted distribution of services and subsidies. Furthermore, the Unique Identification Authority of India, which governs Aadhaar, gained statutory status in 2016 under the Aadhaar Act, solidifying its role in India's governance. Notably, to date, 138.04 crore Aadhaar numbers have been issued, making it the world's largest digital identity program. Now, if we have to talk about Aadhaar's role in direct benefit transfer, see, Aadhaar-linked direct benefit transfer has improved the transparency and efficiency of the welfare schemes by transferring benefits directly into the beneficiaries' bank accounts. Launched in the year 2013, Aadhaar-enabled DBT ensures that the elimination of duplicate or fake beneficiaries and reduces the need for multiple documents. Notably, the PMJDY has furthered the financial inclusion with over 523 million bank accounts opened for marginalized populations. Also, Aadhaar-driven DBT has led to significant savings for the public's exchequer by cleansing databases, eliminating millions of fake beneficiaries. The third article of the day says that achieving 15% ethanol blending in 2024, India targets 20% by 2025. In this context, let us talk about India's ethanol blending initiative. See, ethanol is a biofuel derived from sugarcane. It is blended with petrol to reduce fossil fuel consumption and lower carbon emissions, helping combat climate change and public health concerns. Now, let us look at the journey of ethanol blending in India. See, India's ethanol blending program began as a pilot project in the year 2001, but significant progress has also been made recently due to the series of reforms aimed at unlocking its full potential. Furthermore, these reforms have boosted ethanol production, enhancing energy security, reducing environmental impact, and benefiting rural economies by providing farmers with a new source of income. If we have to look at the key developments in the ethanol blending program, firstly, advancing ethanol blending targets. See, the initial goal of achieving 20% ethanol blending by 2030 was brought forward by 2025, reflecting government's commitment to sustainable energy. Notably, at the 7th GSTIC Delhi conference, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri, who is the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, highlighted India's progress in ethanol blending with plans to exceed the 20% target. Know that ethanol is produced from sugar fermentation and petrochemical processes and is used as alternate fuel, chemical solvent, antiseptic, and in organic compound synthesis. See, in India's transportation sector, 98% of the fuel comes from fossil fuels, with only 2% from biofuels like ethanol. Hence, increasing ethanol use reduces fossil dependency, improves energy security, and supports rural economies through income generation for farmers. Now, let us look at the achievements of ethanol blending in India. See, ethanol production capacity more than doubled in the past 4 years, reaching 1623 crore liters as of September 2024. Notably, in the ESI 2013-14, only 38 crore liters of ethanol were blended, but by 2020 and 21, blending increased to 302.3 crore liters, which is 8.17%, and by 2023-24, it surpassed 13% with 545.05 crore liters blended. Now, talking about its economic and environmental impact, see, over the past decade, the program has saved 1,06,072 crore rupees in foreign exchange, reduced CO2 emissions by 542 lakh metric tons, and substituted 181 lakh metric tons of crude oil. Furthermore, the program has also had a positive economic impact, with oil marketing companies disbursing 1,45,930 crore to distillers and 87,558 crore to farmers. Know that these are the key initiatives to achieve 20% ethanol blending by 2025. The next article says that Indian Space Research Organization on Thursday said its polar orbiting satellite US-6 and geostationary satellite INSAT 3DR had been tracking the cyclone Dana since October 20. In this context, let us talk about these missions. Firstly, talking about the US-6 mission. See, the third generation Indian satellite for monitoring the oceans, formerly named as Earth Observation Satellite, was launched by the Indian Space Research Organization in partnership with the Ministry of Earth Sciences, among others, from its first launch pad at Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. Know that the Ocean Observing Mission is a follow-up to the OceanSat 1 or IRS P4 and OceanSat 2 launched in 1999 and 2009 respectively. Furthermore, the satellite was launched aboard the proven launch vehicle PSLV on its 56th flight. Moving on to talk about the INSAT 3DR. See, the INSAT 3DR is a multi-purpose geosynchronous spacecraft with main meteorological payloads as imager and sounder. Significantly, the main objectives for this mission are to provide an operational, environmental, and storm warning system for protecting the life and property. Furthermore, INSAT 3DR is monitoring the Earth's surface, oceanic observations, and also provide data dissemination capabilities. Also, it provides broadcast satellite services through the two S-band transponders. Know that the processing of INSAT 3DR data is taking place broadly in 4 steps. Firstly, ground receiving system to receive the data. Secondly, data reception system to generate raw data, L0 files. Then the data processing system to process L0 data and produce L1B data files. And lastly, product generation and dissemination system. The next article says that the Union government on Thursday notified the appointment of Justice Sanjeev Khanna as 51st Chief Justice of India with effect from 11 November. See, the Chief Justice of India holds the highest judicial position in the country, heading the Supreme Court of India. Appointed by the President of India, the CJI plays a critical role in the judiciary and is responsible for ensuring the efficient functioning of the Supreme Court. If we look at the constitutional provisions, see, the Chief Justice of India is appointed under the Article 124 of the Constitution of India. Know that the Constitution does not specify any special procedure for the appointment of CJI, but mentions the appointment of Supreme Court judges. So the CJI and other judges of the Supreme Court hold office until they attain the age of 65 years as per Article 124 Clause 2. Now, talking about the appointment of the Chief Justice of India, see, the CJI is appointed by the President of India. Conventionally, the senior most judge of the Supreme Court is appointed as the CJI. In the event of a vacancy, either by retirement or resignation, the next senior most judge is recommended for the position. Then what about the tenure and retirement? See, the CJI serves until the age of 65 years, after which they must retire. So the tenure of a CGI can vary depending on the date of appointment and the age at which they reach 65. Notably, short tenures are common due to mandatory retirement age. Furthermore, the CGI takes an oath of office administered by the President of India. This is specified under Article 124, Clause 6 of the Constitution. Then if we have to look at the removal of the CGI, see the Chief Justice of India can be removed from the office through impeachment, which is governed by Article 124, Clause 4 of the Constitution. Significantly, the procedure requires a motion of impeachment to be passed by a two-thirds majority in both houses of parliament based on proven misbehavior or incapacity. The next article says that manufacturing sector activity recovered in October after 3 months of moderation, even as the producers raised prices at the fastest pace in 11 years, while services offtake also improved, as per early indicators from a private survey of purchasing managers compiled by S&P Global Market Intelligence. See, the HSBC Flash India Manufacturing Purchasing Index recovered from September's 8-month low of 56.5 in September to 57.4 in October. In this context, let us talk about Purchasing Managers Index, in short called the PMI. See, the PMI is a survey-based measure that asks the respondents about changes in their perception about key business variables as compared with the previous month. Know that the purpose of the PMI is to provide information about current and future business conditions to company decision makers, analysts, and investors. Furthermore, there are two types of PMI, which are manufacturing PMI and services PMI. So it is calculated separately for the manufacturing and services sectors, and then a composite index is also constructed. See, the PMI is a number from 0 to 100. Hence, a print above 50 means expansion, while a score below that denotes contraction. Notably, a reading at 50 indicates no change. So, if PMI of the previous month is higher than that of the PMI of current month, it represents that the economy is contracting. Know that usually the released at the start of every month. It is therefore considered a good leading indicator of economic activity. Remember that PMI is compiled by IHH market for more than 40 economies worldwide. And you have to remember that ISH market is part of the S&P Global. The next article talks about the landfall of a cyclone. See, landfall is an event of a cyclone coming ashore after being over water is referred to as landfall. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, landfall occurs when the center of the storm, which is the eye, crosses the coastline. If we look at the cyclone structure, see, tropical cyclones are rotating storm systems that form over warm ocean waters between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn. Know that they spin around an eye, a calm area in the storm center, typically 35 to 65 km wide. Then what is the difference between landfall or direct hit? See, landfall happens when the cyclone's eye moves over the land, whereas a direct hit occurs when the core of the high winds, which is the eye wall, comes ashore, but the eye remains offshore. This can still cause significant damage. Then what is the impact of the landfall? See, the damage during the landfall depends on the cyclone's wind speed and intensity. Then what about its duration and intensity? See, the landfall process typically lasts a few hours. So Cyclone Dana could bring winds up to 125 km per hour over a period of 5 to 6 hours. But cyclones weaken after the landfall as they lose their moisture supply from the sea and encounter more surface friction on land. Hence, this reduces their intensity and eventually dissipates them. Next article says that the birth of a great Indian bustard through artificial insemination at the Sudasari Great Indian Bustard Breeding Center in Rajasthan's Jaisalmer district is an extremely important step in the conservation of critically endangered species which the authorities set. In this context, let us talk about the Great Indian Bustard. Firstly, talking about its conservation status. See, it is listed in Schedule 1 of the Indian Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Furthermore, it is included in the CMS Convention and Appendix 1 of CITES. Also, it is classified as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Then, it is also covered under the India's National Wildlife Action Plan. Lastly, it is identified for the recovery under the Integrated Development of Wildlife Habitats by the Ministry of Environment and Forests of Government of India. Moving on to talk about its characteristics. See, it is distinguished by a black crown on the forehead, a pale neck, and a brownish body with black, brown, and grey wings. Interestingly, both males and females have similar size and weight, but males have a larger black crowns and a large black hair band across the breast. Know that they breed mainly during the monsoon season, with females laying a single egg on open ground. Males do not participate in incubation or caring for the young. Notably, males have a gular pouch to produce a booming call, audible up to 500 meters to attract the females. Also, they are opportunistic eaters. Their diet includes grass seeds, insects, and sometimes small rodents and reptiles. So, in this video, we have talked about 8 articles in total for today. We'll be back again with another video tomorrow. Thank you.